dude, there's no way leader hit me there. I was totally behind a wall. Or like, how did he live? I hit the burst combo. Stuff like that is maybe one of my bigger pet peeves. Like hearing people say that when I'm playing Splatoon. And part of it is because like, the game's been out for however many years now. We should understand why this happens and why like you actually did deserve to get killed, or you didn't actually deserve to get the kill. But you know, a lot of people I think still don't. So let's talk about it. Disclaimer, like this is my that was really bad. This is my personal understanding. I haven't spent a lot of time like researching this, and I don't super understand how the game works behind the scenes. But this is what I've heard from other people, so I'm just going to talk about it. And if there's any misinformation, please correct me. I would love to better my understanding of the game. So what a lot of it comes down to is attacker side versus defender side. Basically, like, because of the latency, what I'm seeing on my screen and what you're seeing on your screen is slightly different, or can be a lot of the time. So like, whose version do we should be reality? And whose version should be reality depends a lot. It varies a lot depending on the thing. The general pattern I find is like thinking about, would it be worse? Like, would it, like for example, getting shot by a leader, would it feel worse to get hit by a leader when on your screen they didn't hit you? Or would it feel worse to hit somebody with leader and then have them not die? Like personally, I think for a lot of main weapons, it feels worse to hit somebody and then have them not die. And like, and it's like that is how it tends to work. What matters is not getting hit with a shot. What matters is that like on the shooter's screen they hit you, and that's called like attacker's side, where what matters is the attackers, right? It happens on their side, not on your side. That's a lot of main weapons, like leader, right? So when you die behind a wall, the leader hit you on their screen before you were behind the wall. It just didn't really register, or it didn't, on your screen, you made it to behind the wall before it registered. But you were still behind, you were still out in the open when they hit you. Like, you did still deserve to die. It just looked a little bit funky. That's the same reason why like you'll often open your tent shield and then die, or your umbrella shield and then die, because just on their screen they hit you before you got it up. Same thing with like popping slider or booyah bomb or other specials with invulnerability, where it feels like you just die, but it's because on their screen you didn't, or they hit you before your invulnerability came in. On the flip side, things like bombs tend to be defender side. And I guess like another heuristic is like, it would be very difficult to play the game where hitting somebody didn't always hit them. It would also be very difficult to play the game where sometimes bombs will just detonate at random times and you can't super tell because it's like on the other person's screen. So like a lot of things like bombs, like I'm not sure if slider explosion is like this, but I would guess that it is. I know the ink vac explosion is like this. Things like that tend to be defender side. So what matters, like if I throw a burst bomb at somebody, that's something I hear a lot, where like people will hit like a burst vertical with Stamper and then complain about it not killing. But it's like, well, on their screen, you didn't hit the burst bomb, right? It's defender side. Like maybe you hit the very, you think you hit the 35 hit, but you actually hit the, I don't know if there's an outer. I don't play burst bomb weapons. Like maybe you didn't hit the 35, or maybe you didn't hit it at all. Even though it sounds like you hit it. Like on your screen you hit it, but you didn't on their side. Because that's just how the game is programmed. So like, I don't know. Like, I get why it can be frustrating, but like, the game's been out for a long time. We know how this works. It happens to everybody. Like, chill out, go next. Something interesting about attacker versus defender side, man, I keep having to grab the rain. Something interesting about it is how it pertains to Zuka. For a long time, like before I knew how this worked, I found that I would often have more success hitting Zuka shots by like aiming at the ground in front of people and like trying to have them run into the explosion. Um, and apparently there is validity behind that, and it's because Zuka is defender-sided. So with Zuka, you need to hit them on their screen. And what that means is, like, you know, on their screen, they're going to be a little bit ahead of where they are in your screen. Did I mess up bombing the shield? I must have. And so, like, with Zuka, you need to aim a little bit into the future. And I found myself doing that before I understood why. And, like, a very interesting byproduct of this is that I find myself hitting fewer Zuka shots on LAN, where there is presumably much less latency than online, which is really cool. So yeah, I don't think there's that much more for me to talk about here. But yeah, that's how the game works, and hopefully that explains some of your frustrations and can help you stop being frustrated by it.